counting that, and he didn't want that to be counted, or he was like, if y'all counting it, let me out my contract. If y'all, but I don't think they counted it as like a full album, it was a full album, but they didn't count it like that. So like, yeah, like I said, I think the industry is still trying to figure that out, but that was a confusing and horrible time, and it was a lot of music coming out that just did not connect.
Yeah, so that's what I would argue. So, yeah. One of the big things with the Drake and Kendrick was, because Kendrick so masterfully brought down Drake, or brought him down a notch, the comparisons haven't been as loud. But in the beginning, the comparisons were, well, Drake sells more. Come to find out, Kendrick Lamar hasn't submitted certifications in like 5 years, so who's to tell how much he's really sold?
Oh, how many certifications, RIAA certifications he really has.
Yeah.
Or would have.
So, the reason why Kendrick and his team does that is because when they started counting streams, Top Dog Entertainment, who he was signed to at the time, came out basically saying, we would like to get our certifications the old-fashioned way. Now, at the time, it seemed like they were trying to, be revolutionary, but it's kind of misguided now. Like, it's streams are the way of the future, it just happens. But do certifications even matter still?
I think it depends on the artist. I think for somebody like those guys at TDE, it might not matter as much. They might look at it like, well, we know we selling, we know we doing well. We on tour and we see these.
So Ab-Soul get a platinum plaque, they're gonna give it to him.
I mean, I'm sure Ab-Soul will take his platinum plaque, but I don't think it means as much to him as it probably would mean to a Lil Peep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think clearly it doesn't mean as much to Kendrick as it does probably to somebody else in the industry. Freddie Gibbs has a famous line, F a million dollars, something like that. I forgot what it was on the Scottie Pippen song.
Kendrick. Rather have $1 million, F $1 million.
But if that equals the same, snatch that up and give me my change. Like, I think, like, if it went that way, like, if me putting out a single and going platinum, and that means I sold 1,000 records, if 1 million records, if I got my $1 million off of each sale, yeah, also give me my platinum plaque and my $1 million. But that's not the case. And I think artists got tired of that this don't really, especially with streaming. Yeah, it went platinum. I got 1 million streams, I got 1 billion streams, but this don't mean that I made the money that I probably should have made off of this record or this album. So you can keep the certification. The certification now, I think to a lot of artists, I'm like, I mean, I'll take it, but it's something to hang up on the wall or in the studio, but I would much rather have the money or the acclaim.
I think as hip-hop moves into its legacy era, with the older artists now still performing, I think hip-hop has moved a little bit away from caring so much about certifications. Because if you notice, legacy rock artists, they don't jump on stage. We sold over 50 million copies. Like, the Eagles aren't going to do that.
I mean, Kiss would.
Gene Simmons would.
I said what I said.
Everything on at a Kiss concert for sale, including the seats. So, I'm not surprised. But I think as hip hop gets older, because look at LL Cool J, right? LL Cool J has Rocky Bell's tour, did really well. LL Cool J is not the best selling hip hop artist of all time. He doesn't have to be. He can 50 Cent. Granted, now he is one of the highest selling hip hop artists of all time. But his last few albums haven't tracked well. But he was able to tour off Get You Die Trying, which was a multi-platinum album. But he didn't get on stage. He don't have to get on stage and say, hey guys, outside of this album, I've also sold, like, bro, you're 50 Cent, we know.
He doesn't have to, but he periodically does.
Well, I mean,
when somebody say something to him, he will let you know.
I know. I'm just saying in the sense of that his legacy is not cemented simply because he sold a lot. He's just 50 Cent.
All right, yeah, at this point, I get you.
And so, when Jay-Z finally decreed, which, when Jay-Z says something, that's where everybody listens, that we don't care about Billboard spots anymore. They say no, it's like a ripple effect of everybody like, hey, we don't care about Billboard either. Unless you're Drake. Drake definitely cares.
That's why I said I think it depends on the artist. I think there are artists, like, yeah, Jay said that, but there's still artists who care about their Billboard position. We see Nicki Minaj get mad every time she doesn't hit number one. She still cares about her Billboard.
Yeah, come to find out, Cardi finally passed on with Spotify. So, boy, they can go see that and be pissed.
She still, like, I think it depends on the artist. Like I said, I think a Kendrick or like a Freddie Gibbs or Griselda, No, they don't care about what their Billboard position is or how many records they sold or how many certifications they got. But a Drake and a Nicki and quite a few others, I think, really care. Like, yeah, give me my plaque, give me my stats. I'm here for that. Like, that's what I need. I want that because Nicki Minaj won't shut up about how she broke Aretha Franklin's album sales record. Fam, all right, you broke it. Why you keep telling us this? It was a huge feat, yes, because at the time it was still physical sales, but still. Why are you still telling us? We like, all right, we get it, but we just don't care anymore. Or not that we don't care. It's just you don't have to keep throwing this out every time you speak. Like at a certain point, it becomes mundane. Just let it sit as it is.
Well, that speaks more to Nicki's insecurities too. Nicki just doesn't feel like she's missing something. But like I said, I think they matter if you're trying to defend hip hop against detractors saying like, oh, it's starting to slide down. It's like, no, it's still a lot of sales.
Definitely, stats definitely up.
But it's not as necessary as it once was. Because in the past, the reason why you see the rappers of old, whether it be Jay-Z of the 90s, Puff of the 90s, Leo Cohen, Master P's, they were throwing up all these platinum plaques because hip-hop was still trying to prove itself. And in a way, hip-hop still is. There's a reason why me and Fresh always remind you guys we got an award for this show. Because you get to this place of you're like, I need these awards to show y'all that, yes, I mean something to this industry.
And they also didn't like that the hip-hoppers won. I'm not letting that go. I'm just letting you know I'm not letting that go. They didn't like that the hip-hoppers won. But, I hear you, and I agree with that. Like I said, as you were saying, that stats do help. Especially when I'm sure at some point this year they are going to come out and say, oh my God, hip-hop is down 50%. We were down 44 last year. We're down 50% or 65%, but never really give you
the reason.
Yeah, they give you this number, but won't give you where are we down at? Like where's this number being pulled from? Who said this? Like where are you getting this information from? So yeah, it helps to say, well, boom, Drake got 1 billion streams this year. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like Kendrick generated this X amount of streams and this X amount of dollars from that whole beat. What are we talking about? This is what Not Like Us and Like That set at #1 X amount of weeks. Like what are we talking about here? So like, yeah, those help for the detractors and those who go by the numbers. And I think they matter to like younger artists, people just getting in the game and they have that first success and they boom, I got my first gold plaque. I think that means something when you are just stepping into it and you sell your first 500,000 or 1 million records and you get that plaque. Like, you may not have got the money, but like, yo, I did this. I didn't buy these sales, I didn't buy these streams. Like, this is mine.
Also, the reason that really triggered the conversation too was Jay-Z finally getting a diamond plaque for Empire State of Mind.
Yeah, he has 3 diamond certifications.
And it's like, I mean, that's dope that Jay-Z got it, but he's still Jay-Z.
I'm sure Jay-Z doesn't give a damn at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think he cares.
But once again, I applaud that because it does show young artists that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with celebrating your wins, but these certifications are not going to cement your legacy more than the work you put in on your legacy.
Yeah, the legacy is what matters. It's not the certifications. And going back to Kendrick, like you said, when him and Drake, when everything kicked off and everybody was doing the comparison, Drake got this many #1s and Kendrick got this many gold plaques and platinum plaques. I don't think Kendrick or anybody at TDE flinched and they would look at it like, well, we know the legacy that we have sustained, that we have built, and that how it will sustain throughout time. People are going to be talking about Good Kid, Mad City, damn, which won a Pulitzer. Like, they'll be talking about that, like, that'll reverberate through hip-hop. Because now winning a Pulitzer is something that you can actually strive for as a rapper. And my album can be looked at as this great piece of writing and go down in history as just great literature and great writing, period.
Right.
Not just, it went 12 times platinum. Like, that's cool, but I can be in the annals of history, period. Not just rap, but you're going to have to talk about this when you talk about great pieces of literature and great pieces of writing, period. Like, I think that matters to a Kendrick more or others more than getting a fake platinum record.
Yeah, I think they've got to a place now in their career where they realize that getting those things, while it's cool, it's not the full mission.
Yeah.
So, no, I like it.
Hip-hop's moving in a nice direction. It's
Exactly.
growing up. Hip-hop is growing up. I like it.
I love it too. So.
taking a quick break. Be right back.
Well, now it's time for Hip Hop Facts, ladies and gentlemen. Facts about the culture. You're up.
All right, I'm up. Marlon Wayans, one of the Wayans brothers, starred on the Wayans Bros television show with his brother Sean.
Look up Marlon, say cheese.
Yeah, and the late great John Witherspoon. They had many theme songs on the show, but one of the theme songs Marlon produced and made the beat himself.
Didn't he make it with Omar Epps?
He did. He made it with Omar Epps.
And they grew up together.
Yeah, they grew up together, and apparently Q-Tip helped. Q-Tip came in later and helped kind of refine the beat that ends up becoming one of the theme music for the Wayans Brothers show.
See, because it was I think the first 2 or 3 seasons, the theme music was just Electric Relaxation by Tribe Called Quest, and then the other season, that's when they, I guess the one Marlon and Omar Epps produced. That's just so random. Like I said, they're friends in real life, but it's just so random. 2 people. All right, that's good. That was good. I think I remember hearing about that passing. All right, let's go with my first one. The song "The Light" by Common. Great record. Love that record. Off the album Like Water for Chocolate, which some would argue is Common's best. Fun fact, it's not.
There are times.
So apparently, when the song was made, it samples Bobby Caldwell.
Bobby Caldwell. One of my favorite Bobby Caldwell songs in there too.
But Open Your Eyes.
Yeah.
So in order for them to clear the song, they had to give 100% publishing to Bobby Caldwell.
Jesus, Bobby, I thought you was for the culture.
He said, "Ain't that black?"
Looking at that, you ain't black at all, brother. Like Jesus, 100%.
He said, "Now wait a minute, I'm your brother, but I ain't your brother that way." So yeah, he owns 100%. Well, he owns his estate now, owns it because Bobby Caldwell passed away. But yeah, Common said that everybody told him not to do it. He said, Questlove said, "Nah, bro."
100%? You don't get no money from this song?
He said, "Don't do it." But Common said the song was just, it spoke to him and he kept it on the album. And it's one of his biggest songs.
That's one of his biggest songs you don't see no money from. Nah, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of like Questlove, bro. I don't know about this.
I could understand if it was like a Tribe Called Quest situation where like, well, can I kick it? Where the label just said, no, we're not going to clear. We're just going to put the song out, and then the owner comes back and say, hey, y'all owe me some money. Yeah. I'm taking all of this, but you just voluntarily gave up 100%. You didn't even try to negotiate.
And I wonder,
you couldn't do like an 80-20 split.
Like I wondered, like I said, how the negotiations went, because the song is not like dirty or derogatory. It's
a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song. So I wonder what he heard to be like, "Nah, I need all of that." Because I heard the artists in the past say, like, if the song is something that they feel doesn't fit their view of music, like they think it's too much going on, then they'll be like, I'm gonna take more out of it then. They say Beyonce will not let you. You cannot sample her at all if you're gonna do too much of a song. what did Bobby Caldwell hear to be like, "I need all of that"?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a beautiful song about being in a relationship. Like, this woman is my light. Like, also when he was dating her.
Bobby Caldwell said, "That check gonna be my life too. Go ahead, run that player."
Literally.
We thought you were black. Well, I'm not. Give me that money.
No, he ain't black in spirit. Jesus, 100% off rip, Bobby. I know Erykah Badu was cool with that because Common was dating Erykah Badu at the time. She's in the video.
I mean, hey, no matter what they want,
Jeez.
Like I said, it's a great record. It's an amazing record, but damn, Bobby.
He just came out
there. Can you do 90?
Like I said, you can't do an 80-20 split or nothing. Like 95-5. I can't get no money out of it.
Bobby Caldwell Sammy Jackson soul man. That is the cut of a 60-40 split.
Like, man, brother can't get he can't eat off his record. He took time to write the record. Like,
100% of the record.
Jesus, I don't think I won't listen to Open Your Eyes no more. you don't need the money.
Bobby Caldwell said, y'all finna sample something I didn't, but that's my biggest song. You sure right? Give me all of it. I'm gonna make more money off this song than I ever did.
Jesus, man. All right there, man.
R.I.P. Bobby Caldwell.
R.I.P. Bobby Caldwell, man. Lord. I know why he not in the system now.
Probably want to own that too.
Lord.
He's a shrewd businessman, wasn't he?
That's crazy. I was not prepared for you to say 100%.
100% of the song. That was the deal. I said, that's not even a deal.
Who this man, Prince?
Prince don't even charge 100%.
Jeez. All right, man. My second fact. The great Luther Vandross. may he rest in peace. He was the main villain or the big bad in the cult classic movie Meteor Man.
You gotta put Colt on. I say classic. I love Meteor Man. You gotta put Colt on there.
All right, well let me rephrase
Pulp
that.
Fiction is called.
The classic superhero film at that too. Meteor Man, written and directed by Robert Townsend, correct?
Yeah,
it was directed. I know it was written and there we go. It also starred James Earl Jones. Eddie Griffin is in there, but Eddie Griffin's not my favorite person anymore.
Oh, the Eddie Griffin's favorite person no more.
But yeah. Luther Vandross was the big bad in that movie, and Robert Townsend says that he didn't think he would get Luther for the movie, but he reached out and asked.
They said it was him and his wife were huge fans.
Yeah, and it was just like, what if I could get Luther for the movie? And she was like, you should try it. Like just call him up and ask him. So, Robert Townsend.
That was kind of flex to be like, I'm also famous and I know Luther.
Yeah.
In the 90s, you know how big Luther was? Literally and figuratively.
I'm getting at that. So, as you said, this weird flex for Robert Townsend being Robert Townsend calls up Luther and says, hey, yo, I want you in this movie. Luther was taken aback, a little surprised, like, you want me in a movie?
Was the Peckerhood out by then?
I think it came a little bit after. And Luther was like, you want me in a movie? And he was like, yeah, I want you to be a bad guy. He was like, I'm gonna give you a gun, I'm gonna have a gun. Luther was so shocked that, like, this is what Robert Townsend wanted
Because
to do.
Luther sings these beautiful R&B songs, and you look at him and think, you don't think yourself, that's a gangster right
Yeah,
there.
you want him to be a gangster, toting a gun in the inner city neighborhood.
Basically, I need you to be Teddy Pendergrass. Look at you. Teddy Pendergrass got somebody killed.
Y'all never seen this documentary. Y'all should go watch it. I think it's still on Showtime.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Very good
Pendergrass
documentary.
in the streets of Philly.
He's from Philly for real.
Turn off the lights before I get to let this chopper sing.
But anyway, Luther was like, okay, I'll do the movie, but can you give me 6 months? And Robert was a little confused, like, I mean, okay. He was like, no, I just want to, just give me 6 months and I'll be ready for the role. And Luther came back and had lost all of this weight for the role. So that's why you get Little Luther in Meteor Man and not Big Luther.
Look at me and say, I don't do Little Luther. Said you entertainer?
I don't do Little Luther. I like Big Luther. I don't do Little Luther. But that's how we got Little Luther, is because he lost all of this weight to be in Meteor Man, which I was just like, yeah, but he didn't need to lose weight. Robert, why didn't you tell him this?
Well, I think I saw the interview you talking about. It seemed like to me Robert was saying that it was Luther's choice to lose him.
Yeah, it was.
Robert didn't, because Robert was like, we're ready to go now. All you gotta do is show up.
Yeah.
The irony of all of that is that Luther doesn't speak in the movie. So he's just there. So he lost weight just to look good. Okay, I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it.
But he doesn't speak in that movie.
I appreciate the dedication. Once again, rest in peace to Luther Vandross. I appreciate the dedication. But my brother did not have to lose the weight.
He didn't have to lose the weight.
He did not have to lose the weight.
I
I don't think that's what Robert wanted him to do.
No, he didn't. Robert said the movie was ready to go, but they had to kind of wait.
They had to wait the 6 months because Luther wanted to apparently get in shape for the
He
role.
was only in the movie 5 minutes and didn't speak.
He didn't go to like the end.
That's what I'm saying. He was only there like 5 minutes. He didn't talk at all. So he was just standing. He was standing with his lips puckered.
He came the next day after Robert Collins shot his scene and bounced.
Man. All right, let me get to my second fact. Nas famously lost the notebook that he kept the rhymes that would eventually become Illmatic in. According to Genius.com, it's no longer Rap Genius, quote, I lost a couple of books. Our book, I can't remember, says Nas. I was forced to kind of remember what I wrote there and then come up with the rest of it on my own. Nas eventually got the notebooks back from a Good Samaritan. By then, Illmatic was already out. And then he lost it again. So, somebody out there either has a Nas notebook that's worth a lot of money or it's gone.
Once somebody realizes that they have it and what it is, be prepared for it to be sold at auction.
Or, like I said, it's just lost in the streets of New York in the trash somewhere.
Oh, well, that's gone. The rats ate that. The rats got that. That's gone.
Yeah, he said after the album was done and everything, I got this package with this guy's name and number, but by then Illmatic was already out. I think he said he lost it on the train.
That tracks. I've lost many things on public transportation.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty, my third and final fact. Monica's debut album, Miss Thang, the first single from the album was Don't Take It Personal.
Great album.
Just one of those days. My mother played it. Oh my God.
Her and Brandy's debut album. So
Jesus.
Chef
Jesus. My mother still I think that's the only CD my mother still owns to this day. That and anything from Mary J. Blige.
That tracks.
And Joe. My mother's a huge
That tracks.
Joe fan. My mother's a huge Joe fan. Two of them CDs is mine. She stole from me.
Which Joe she got?
She got All That I Am, and she got the
Joe.
second, and My Name Is Joe. And she got, man, my mother got every Joe album.
You know what's All That I Am's not his first one.
I know it's not. My Aunt Julie has the first one where he had hair.
His hairline going away.
It's like Joe. He going by Joe Thomas. And
Yeah,
just
that
Joe.
was it. That's him.
But anyway.
We had hair is wild.
Dallas Austin, who co-produced and fully wrote "Don't Take It Personal," says Arista, the record label that Monica was signed to, did not believe in the record and they did not want to release it.
Here we go with this story. Well, some of y'all labels, there's so many big songs that like label hates this song. What?
They didn't think that it would track well and it would do well. So Dallas was like, y'all are crazy. This is a hit. This is a certified hit. What are y'all talking about? And he was like, I think Monica was like, what, 14, 15 at the time when her first album came out. Also, sidebar, she was being managed by Queen Latifah, which is how she ended up on the episode of Living Single at that time.
That tracks.
But Dallas Austin was like, yo, I told Arista that like, yo, they are crazy. Like this works. So he was like, he got people together, and he played it for them other people at the label, and then the label heads were like, wait, this record is tracking so well in the testing. This is gonna do great. And Dallas was like, I told y'all this. Like y'all didn't have to do all of this. I told y'all that it was a certified hit and that this would work. And so it ends up becoming Monica's first certified #1 single.
Hey man, look.
At 15. Like, Jesus. Shout out to Gunica.
She said, why do y'all keep calling me that? Do you know who you are?
What you have done? I mean, what?
All right, my final fact, let's head to the West Coast. California Love, probably the biggest rap song ever come out of California.
Probably so.
It's credited by being a Dr. Dre song featuring Tupac. Well, Tupac featured Dr. Dre, but whatever. DJ Quick recently was on Drink Champs, and he claimed that it was his idea for the hook and melody to California Love. Said they were all performing at Madison Square Garden. I'm assuming the Source Awards, because it was at 95, that's where it was. And he was on stage just, humming the song and the melody of California Love, and he was throwing it in different cities. Said Dre heard it, was like, yep, I'm going to need that. And Quick was like, all right, cool, whatever, do what you want with it. Next thing you know,
Quick could say that because it wasn't his song originally.
Because in the clip, he was trying to figure out the name of the person who sang on it. It was Roger Travis. He kept saying Ronnie.
I was like,
anybody in Zap named Ronnie? And so that's why I said Quick clearly didn't mind giving that song because he would definitely remember who Roger Travis was.
Well, I'm saying.
When that publishing split came, I'm pretty sure Roger Travis was like, yeah, I'm going to need that cut player.
He definitely did.
It's funny that story about that song because not only was the song apparently, once again, the melody was brought up or conceived by DJ Quick, but the video treatment was written by Jada Pinkett. I feel like Tupac just came in at the very end and just jumped on the song and just like, whatever y'all want me to do, I'm here.
That's what it sounded like.
That's exactly what happened. So,
but also the song from Roger Troutman from Zap is a very popular song. So
yeah.
At least I know in LA, it's been in plenty of LA-based movies I've heard.
Oh, yeah, facts. So, but yeah, that is my final fact. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Unpopular Opinion with Fresh himself.
Let's bring it on home to Texas, man. I was sitting at home one day, and this thought just hit me. I don't think Lil Keke gets enough credit for his impact in rap, specifically in Texas or just overall, period.
I told somebody recently, I said, is Lil Keke and Pimp C the two most sampled people in Texas?
I'm getting to that. So my unpopular opinion is Lil Keke is the most impactful rapper out of Texas. And I say that because, as Confucius said, are him and Pimp C the most sampled artists? And when somebody makes a song in Texas or try to do something real southern,
He's the most impactful rapper?
yes,
Okay.
and when they make a song in Texas or try to make something that's really southern, it seems like they go to something that Lil Keke has said, whether it be 25 lighters or Screwed and Already Warned Y'all or Popping Your Great Cassette. Like every time
Draped
you
up, all that,
yeah, draped up and dripped out. Like Keke is like the anthem. Just him being Keke is just, he's just the anthem. of Texas. Like Southside, people sample, like he is sampled a lot, and a lot of people look to Kiki for a certain sound and a certain aesthetic for a song, and I don't think he gets that credit. Yes, we give him the credit of being Freestyle King, original SUC member, so influential.
That's what Flip says.
He also is an original SUC member either. So
not original.
Boom. Shouts to Flip. I got respect for Flip.
What, this is like the last one to join.
I got respect for Flip. I know he dubs himself Freestyle King, but I've heard many other people say it's either ESG or Kiki. So that's just what I heard, man. It's just what I take it up with your people down there in Houston.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, take it up with your people down there in Houston. I heard them say that. But like, I don't think we give Kiki the credit for being a great rapper, but we don't give him the credit for like kind of, especially in a post-Screw era, we don't really give him credit for kind of being the sound of Texas and helping permeate and pushing the sound of Texas out there. We always give Pimp that, and we always give Pimp C his flowers, whether when he was here or now that he's gone. We always give it to him about his influence and his impact on the game, but we never really do that for Kiki. And I just sat back and thought, like, man, when you really listen, like, Kiki's like DNA is kind of in a lot of these records, and a lot of people don't give him that credit. I heard him talking about it, and I think it was in an interview somebody asked him, like, when you did 25 Lighters, did you know that like that would be sampled and your voice would see what you said would be sampled and it would be reverberating throughout the years? And he was like, nah, I didn't go in thinking that, but it's cool that it is, and people take like Draped Up and Dripped Out, and Screw and already warned y'all, and 3 in the all of that, and Pimpin' P is like, I don't think he goes into it thinking, I'm finna make this song and everybody they finna rock it, they gonna be sampling this. I definitely don't think he thought that, but I think now that is also a part of his legacy, and you got to clear that. So he's getting paid off of it. Like, give Kiki his credit, man. Like, Kiki is kind of the DNA of Texas, man. Like, he is ingrained, and you can't mention Texas. Granted, I think we already don't mention Texas without mentioning Kiki, but like, I think he's far more impactful than we give him credit for, just based off of how much he is sampled and how much he has given to the game. And I think sometimes it gets overlooked. I think sometimes we're quick to say Pimp and Fat Pat, rightfully so, and Screw, rightfully so, but I think Kiki needs to be put in there, and I'd hate for that to happen well after he's gone. And that's my unpopular opinion.
You said most influential rapper, right?
I said, yeah.
First my mind went to Screw, but Screw wasn't a rapper, he's a DJ. Gotta disagree.
I knew I had it.
You know where I'm going. Gotta go to Pimp.
I know you're going to Pimp.
Got to, because he came first.
I was thinking you would say Fat Pat, but Pimp don't shock me. It definitely doesn't shock me.
Because there's an argument that there is no DJ Screw if UGK doesn't pop. Because Screw was such a huge UGK fan.
I get that.
Now, I will say, I think Little Kiki was the best person to articulate what DJ Screw was trying to say and do. Because, like I said, Screw wasn't a rapper.
Right.
So Kiki and Pat were the two best people to articulate that Houston sound that eventually became the thing. But was getting UGK. UGK was rapping about the things that eventually the Pats and the Little Kikis talked about. So I say Pimp C. And also that sound, which is the irony of it is that UGK is not even from Houston.
And
but they helped cultivate the sound of Houston. And like I said, Screw took it to that next level. But a lot hasn't been said, and I would like to see it, about Screw and Pimp C's relationship. It's always been told in like a passing way. Mm-hmm. But what I've put together and what I've read is that they were close, and Pimp was giving Screw a lot of advice.
Same from what I have read and what I have seen people say in interviews like a Kiki or ESG or any other original SUC member that was around to see Pimp's and Screw's interaction, is that they did have a very close relationship and bond, and that, like you said, Pimp was kind of giving some advice to Screw on how to do things and how to maneuver in the business.
And then Kiki was supposed to be on Riding Dirty. He said famously him and Pimp C got went to a store. The cops get involved, and I think Kiki stayed in the store. He saw the cops, and Pimp gets arrested. So Lil Kiki ends up not being on the album. But I say Pimp, but runner-up, honorable mention, I'd say Slim Thug. Because Slim Thug, while he's not sampled as much, his business model, I think, created a lane for Houston artists to make more money. Because SUC can say what they want. They weren't making a lot of money. Screw was making all the money, but most of SUC wasn't. It was Slim Thug and Swisha House that were like, look, we can start selling these just outside of Houston, and we can own our own thing, as opposed to us, waiting till Watson, OG Ron C put out a tape. We can do it ourselves. But I gotta say Pimp, only because Pimp's the first. And I think Pimp taking the Southern Texas culture nationally is what motivated the Screws and the Kikis. But I mean, it's one of those. There's no wrong answer.
Because I'm sure when people hear this, they'll be like, "Well, what about Scarface?" Not discounting Scarface, not discounting Ghetto Boys, but based off what I said with Kiki is what I'm sticking with.
Well, but of course, and there's a roadmap from the Scarface Pimp, I mean, UGK, Kiki, Screw, all that. But Scarface's sound wasn't the Houston sound that became popular. UGK started that sound. Mm-hmm. Screw perfected it. Watts super perfected it, and then the Kikis and Slim Thugs really just took it to.
I always bring up Scarface because I know me saying Kiki, you saying Pimp. There's going to be somebody that says, "Well, no, it's Scarface, bro. He was there first, and him and the Ghetto Boys, and they did that." But like you said,
I'm thinking about the sound.
The sound of what most people know Texas to be.
Scarface and Ghetto Boys were making it. They were making music that was important for the time, but it wasn't that Houston sound. That whole, like you said, coming down, dripped out, steel tipping, that comes out of the Kikis and SUCs and all that, and the Swisha House camps. Scarface and them were talking like that.
No, they weren't.
But Pimp C and them were talking like that on their records. So, I mean, there's no wrong answer to it. I'm always say Pimp because obviously I'm a Pimp fan.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I did this one specifically because, one, I think Kiki has an argument in it.
I think he sampled more than Pimp C. I still hear Lil Kiki. I said, Lil Kiki, they sampled it.
And two, I think it caused good discourse.
Also, I heard, I forgot who it was, man. I heard they sampled Kiki from a song that Kiki's already sampled on. I'm like, wait, y'all double down on? I forgot. I think it was they sampled him from Break 'Em Off. I'm like, Break 'Em Off's a sample of him. So you took his verse off Break 'Em Off, which the hook is already a sample of him, and then you sample. So I will say, Kiki has to be the most sampled person in Houston.
He has to be.
He just randomly pops up on stuff, sampling, and he be on the song. Like I said, Break 'Em Off by Paul Wall samples him, and he's on the song.
He definitely.
Was Knocking Those Down? Is that him on the hook too?
Yes, that is him. Knocking those down. Yeah,
he's on the song.
That's Kiki. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm still sticking with Pimp C being influential, but I say in terms of most sampled, it has to be Kiki because he's on a lot of songs.
A lot.
And what's crazy is, especially the songs like from the mid 2000s to maybe like late 2000s that sampled him. Those are all from like 3 freestyles.
Yes.
They're only like 3 freestyles.
And a lot of them is from Pimpin' Pin.
Yeah,
a lot of them is from Pimpin' Pin.
It's not like spread across. It's like 3 songs they just keep pulling from. I would argue Pimpin' Pin, I can think of like 3 songs they sampled from that. So
I can think of at least 3, 4 off the top of my head.
I still think it's Pimp C most influential.
I'm not mad at Pimp C. Like you said, it's not really.
I'm not forgetting the weeds with Lil Kiki sample, man, because all I do is feed your argument.
Like you said, it's no really wrong answer. I'm just gonna make the fight for Kiki.
What would O say? O would say Kiki.
Probably would say Fat Pat.
And I want to say Fat Pat.
Would probably say, I will friend of the show. O would probably say Fat Pat.
O is the Houston music historian.
He is the Forrest Gump of Houston rap. For some reason,
he got his hair cut with Kiki, bought tape from Screw.
He was in the Lackville 79 video.
He was in Lackville 79 video.
Or supposed to be in it, and was supposed to be sitting in the back seat of the Cadillac.
He said he wasn't if you like.
Yeah, he was like standing in next to Devin the Dude in the video, but was supposed to be in there.
He's the Forrest Gump of Houston music.
He did bought a car from Zero and recorded was like
he did buy a car from Zero.
It's just wild, man.
But he would say Kiki. Only because O was once a huge SUC fan. Yeah. He'd say Kiki.
Yeah, he probably. I think he would say
Kiki.
I think he would say Kiki or Pat, but yeah.
I can't get Fat Pat. Fat Pat wasn't around long enough. That's the reason I can't say Fat Pat. And Fat Pat to me is the best out of all the SUC.
Not arguing that.
But he wasn't around long enough. That's not fair to say, he influenced everybody. Like, you're going to put out one album. Even that album came after he died. Anyway,
let's get into it's time for Confucius reads the news.
yeah, did anything interesting happen in the last week?
Oh man, I mean,
Oh my God. And you know what? I promise y'all, I read the news up until the moment that I have to record it. And I still miss major stories. I know y'all heard me last week go on and on about why Biden needs to stay in the race and he's the best shot at winning. Clearly he didn't hear the breaks.
He did not. And the Democratic Party said, "Hold my beer."
So yes, it's official. President Joe Biden is not seeking re-election. He's going to pull an LBJ and try to pass the torch to the younger generation, as he said in his address to the nation on Wednesday night. Hopefully he has better results than when LBJ stepped down, because Herbert Humphrey got blown out by Richard Nixon. There's a lot of factors news reporting has said has played into making that decision. One, he saw polling that said, hey, there's no path to victory. Granted, I don't believe in polling.
As you said.
But what also they said did it was the money. The money started drying up. And you can believe polls or not, but if ain't no money.
I mean, when
George Clooney came out.
I was about to say, one of your biggest contributors come out and say, yeah, I think you should step down, man. That kind of is a red flag and signals everybody else, you know what? I'm going to just pull my contribution back a little bit.
Because, I mean, if the argument on the Democratic side is that Trump is an existential threat to democracy, Joe Biden did the right thing, because he's probably looked at it like, well, look, if I'm standing in the way of us winning, then yeah, it's time for me to step down. So now, as he should, he endorsed his Vice President Kamala Harris. When he announced that there was speculation of how long it might take for her to get enough delegates to become the official nominee going into the Democratic Convention, National Convention, she got all those delegates in like 2 days. They have raised crazy amount of money since Kamala took over the ticket. And she's making up ground in battleground states where polling was showed Biden down. She's still trailing Trump, but that gap is closing. There is, of course, a honeymoon period, her being a new candidate. What's interesting is that Biden dropping out right after the Republican National Convention, where they spent time and money bashing him. And now all they have now is those crazy Trump rallies to try to get the messaging out against Kamala, which I'm interested in what it's going to be. No, I'm not. It's going to be racist.
Well, I've already seen, at least from what I've already seen.
She's been called colored, yes.
I saw that, and that just was... It was a black man. It was a black man sitting right there, and nobody said anything. He didn't say a word.
Every time had a shotgun for a reason, and they already called her DEI hire.
And then the whole, she slept her way to the top. And my whole thing with that is, as a society, we cannot praise Bill Clinton for his sexual acts in the Oval Office and now condemn this woman. But I get it. America's sexist and racist.
Well, not just,
so I get it. But you can't.
Well, take out Bill Clinton. Look at Donald Trump. Like, he clearly what he does in the bedroom, y'all don't care about, because he's been the court behind it. But so she can't. And also, her sleeping her way to the top is not even a real thing. It's not even a real thing. Also, just like this whole thing about she's locked up thousands of black people in California for drug-related crimes, which is also not true. Come to find out,
the lie detector said that was a lie.
It was less than 45. And two, come to find out, she really went after child sex predators. So yeah, if your uncle's on that list, it might not be for weed. So like I said, we'll see how it plays out. Do I think Kamala can beat Trump? Yes, I do. The base is energized. Young people are energized. There are arguments being old is on the Republican side, which Democrats are using effectively. So, I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. Also, make sure you register to vote, because I heard people say that they thought they were. They checked into it and they weren't. So, make sure
Yeah, please register to vote. Please make sure you are registered to vote in the right precincts and districts and counties and all of that.
I'm assuming by the time, the next time I do Confucius Reads News, she will have picked a vice presidential running mate. It's been narrowed down to 4 people. One of the people works at UT, and he was the guy that was in charge of the Bin Laden raid. I think his name is Admiral McGovern. And he said, he wrote back saying, yeah, take me off that list. I'm cool.
I better say in charge of the Bin Laden raid, huh?
So he's like, I'm cool on that. But, shout out to him or whatever. Of course, the Trump people are not happy.
I bet they are not.
That Kamala is now the front runner to run against him. Trump is already making excuses to debate her, which she would chop him up in a debate. And two, he's upset because I think they only plan for Biden staying in. Because I think Trump's people and Trump himself live by the motto that there's no way that this man's ego will let him step down. Because Trump would never step down. Clearly, he didn't want to concede the election. So he's not going to ever step down for the betterment of the country. So I don't think in their mind they planned it out that it would be Kamala. They thought it would always be Biden. So one of the little desperate ways they're trying to keep Kamala off the ticket, according to Yahoo News, the Trump campaign filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission on Tuesday accusing Vice President Harris's campaign of improperly taking over President Biden's campaign funds when he left the race this past Monday. The complaint reported by the New York Times came after the Biden campaign account changed its name to Harris for President on Monday following the president's announcement that he would not seek re-election. Quote, Kamala Harris is seeking to perpetrate a $91.5 million heist of Joe Biden's leftover campaign cash, a brazen money grab that would constitute the single largest excessive contribution and biggest violation in the history of the Federal Elections Campaign Act of 1971, Trump Campaign Counsel David Warrington wrote, end quote. Yeah, have fun with that. Y'all have fun with that. Especially y'all just use y'all money for all kind of stuff. It's not gonna help. Like I said, I was worried that the deadline to make sure she's all the ballots hadn't passed, but it hasn't. Biden jumped out just in time. Granted, if he was gonna do it, he probably should have done it 2 weeks ago. I'm also not a fan of how they pushed him out. I don't like that. Granted, he did do the right thing, but it was just too loud and too much. Like really trying to tell him to step down.
I get that.
But it's Kamala's going to be the nominee. The DNC said they got the great lineup of celebrities coming, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure doesn't matter to small-town voters, but if George Clooney comes out there, they should boo him. I would. Boom!
You don't even live here. like on Mean Girls, doesn't even go here.
Let's bring it back home. The Round Rock shooters apparently were beefing because they were in a rap beef.
Oh, my gosh.
Apparently. The shooting that left 2 people dead and 14 injured happened in Round Rock during Juneteenth. One of the victims was a junior in high school, and they said that, it stemmed from 2 rival rap gangs running into each other at the festivities. Now, here's what I don't like. I don't like when they try to make it seem like these people are active rappers because they don't have that many songs. And just because you have 100 views on YouTube does not make you a rap star.
And I don't want y'all to take this as like an indictment on rap in Austin.
That part. Look,
don't do that. Because y'all don't do that to Rock and Roll when they was down, they be down there fighting at the venues. Y'all don't do that.
Clearly all these, one of the shooters, when they encountered each other at the festival, pulled out a gun and started shooting and immediately lost control of it, which is why innocent bystanders were hit. Which one goes to show Texas, our gun laws suck, which is why a child can get a gun with a switch on it, which makes the gun shoot faster.
And why you should be older than 18 to have one.
You should be older than 21 to have a gun, in my opinion, unless you're in the military.
I'm not mad at that. You should definitely have a developed frontal lobe.
But yeah, please stop saying it's 2 rap crews, because me and Fresh run a hip-hop show here, and granted, we don't know everybody, but they're not. They had no contribution to the scene. They weren't putting it. They weren't on anybody's radar like that outside of their friends. It's just a case of 2 groups of people who didn't get along running into each other and doing too damn much. But like you said, do not take a referendum on rap.
Yes, don't do that. I don't want to see no think pieces online about why rap is bad in Austin, and don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to see y'all on Medium doing none of that. I know that's y'all site.
Sonia Macy is a 36-year-old black woman who was killed in Illinois a few days ago by police. I watched the video.
I started to watch it and then I realized I can't do this, man. I can't do this.
The reason I did is because I read the news on it.
I understand. I just couldn't do it.
And it was hard. It took me a couple of tries because it's not a contentious video. A lot of times when body cam footage comes out, you see there's some type of argument, altercation, or something that kind of triggers the police officer to overreact. And this one, Sonia was calm the entire video.
She called them.
Yeah, she called them over there. They asked for her ID. She couldn't find it in her purse. She goes to the kitchen to remove a pot of boiling water. She says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," because the cops are joking about not hurting her. And as soon as she says that, the cops pull out a gun and one of them shoots her in the head and kills her. What can I say about police brutality against black people that hasn't already been said
What's going on?
by people way smarter than me?
I need them cordless ones, man.
To say that we're tired of it would be redundant.
I'm trying to get the
To
back.
say
This
that
the
it's a form
hardest
of
spot right
PTSD
here.
for us is also redundant. Like Fresh said, he chose not to watch it, which
I just chose not to watch it.
it definitely, because it's trauma to see
Let's see
that.
if I can make you a moderator.
And it also reinforces the idea that, we can be killed for nothing. I know.
Even when we call you.
Let's see. Yep, there you go.
And we live in a constant police state. And this woman lost her life simply because she asked for help from people who were supposed to protect her. Come to find out the cop that shot her had been dismissed from multiple police departments.
Like, my thing is, most jobs do background checks. And I understand that being a police officer, you're a civil servant. Like, you get paid by the taxpayers and all of that. But y'all don't run background checks. Like, y'all don't go back and check somebody. If Google checks somebody's references, y'all don't check somebody's references and, like, find out that, like, well, they've been, like Future said, dismissed from multiple police stations and police departments. 6. You've been dismissed from 6 police departments. Like, that don't go against you when you apply for another one. It's just like,
bro, you can't get
I don't know if
from 6
really,
Burger Kings and then get another job at Burger King. That's not how that works.
Like, I don't know if we really want him here after being dismissed from 6. Whatever the cases may be, you were dismissed. It ain't like you walked away freely. Like, they said you got to go. They fired you. Like,
what? But so it comes back to what I've always said. It's the system. A system that makes a person feel comfortable killing another person who isn't a threat to their life.
What is training for?
The policeman, his name is Sean Grayson, was charged 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery with a firearm, an official misconduct in connection with the July 6th shooting. It was in Springfield, Illinois. Of course, you hope there's justice. And that's the world that I hope that you look at when you think about who you vote for. Who is the person that you think will best maybe try to change the tide or have a different tone? Do you feel like Donald Trump? For those of you out there that look like me, do you think that if Sonia was your aunt, sister, or friend, do you think that Trump would be supportive of justice for her? Do you think Kamala would be for justice for this woman? That's how I think when I vote. Like, who can get in office and look at something like this and see the tragedy of it and ask for changes? Granted, all politicians are cops, so I don't expect that much. But who do you think best would do it? If you think it's Trump, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. But if it's Kamala, then vote accordingly. But RIP to Sonia Massey. He's at 36 years old, man. That's crazy. And that's confusion treason. This episode of The Breaks Podcast is a production of KTX 989, the Austin Music Experience. You can listen to The Breaks radio show every Saturday night from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. This podcast is produced by Confucius Jones, Fresh Knight, and Elizabeth McQueen, with editing help from Jack Anderson. Additional production help provided by Zara Krim. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We are at The Breaks KTX, and you can find more episodes at ktx.org/The Breaks. Our theme song is by Austin artist DZ Brown.
Here's a bullet that hit me right there. All right, well, what's up, man? Hey, no. It's good. Hey, sir, just hang on, all right? The ambulance is already here, right? My friend, am I doing this?
Oh, yeah. Almost done.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. And on today's episode, we go.
At Go Auto, we help you save more money on car insurance with no commission agents, no expensive add-ons, low down payments. You can customize your payment plan and you choose your payment date. Just give us a call for your free quote at 833-700-0000.
Pop quiz. StockX is all about the sneakers, streetwear, apparel, accessories, all of the above. From the greatest grills to the latest trends, everything you need is here. Plus, you can trust that every order is StockX verified, backed up by a buyer promise. Ace your style.
Hey, welcome to my apartment 5H. We in the building. My primo. Everybody's in the building.
Hanging out.
We got. Do they call that the boot? The boot area?
Yeah.
The boot.
Oh, Louisiana's the boot.
Louisiana is the boot.
Yes, sir.
Nolans.
Yeah.
And how you got Nolans?
Yeah, all of that.
First of all, right? Nola, right?
Yeah.
First of all, what is the infatuation? I'm saying it right with being it. Well, like every time I meet a chick, being it, like
They was fucking East Coast people trying to
So I
talk
say
like
big.
that.
They
no,
go
but
crazy.
okay.
Next thing you know, they want to have a beer.
No, because every time you're like, hey, being it, what's up, man? What happening, being
I
it?
think we
Stop.
own beer. You know
Please
what I'm
stop.
saying? Yeah. Own that. You know.
Where did that start? Like, how did that even start?
That's been like this thing, like, you know, when you travel and somebody starts saying it. Like, so whenever you went to somewhere else, like say we went to Baton Rouge or maybe a little bit further, Texas and Atlanta.
Okay.
You know, and somebody would always say, "I love the way y'all say big." So that became like that's like your last line of getting some, you know, some ass or something. Like, you can't say nothing else. You like, "Look, what's happening,
What's
big?"
happening, man?
I'm assuming, like, you know, hearing ladies say, I like how you say baby, that's like the battery in the back. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's like, all right, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that. That's my go-to right there.
Yeah.
That might be, I guess, we got the equal for New Yorkers. Like, yo, say, what's up, son?
Yeah.
What else was New Yorkers?
Yeah, definitely. Like that was like, yo, you know, like, you know, folks would be like, man, when New Yorkers say son, you know what I'm saying?
You cannot not say
Yeah.
that. When you born, you gotta say
Y'all
that.
own that shit. Word is born. They just
Word
like,
is
you know,
born.
yeah. I'm like, ah, you from New York.
Has there ever been a heavy presence of New York in Louisiana?
Yeah, you know, I mean, bro, believe it or not, like in our neighborhood, just the locks, like them motherfuckers, they well received. Yeah, like, you know, because everybody know them. Like, you know what I'm saying, from being in New Orleans. Like, just uptown, downtown, they got a big presence. Like, you know, it's been bounce songs and all kind of shit that's remakes of the locks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because, like, yeah, like, they are, like, you know what I'm saying? Especially Jada. Like, everybody know Jada in New Orleans. Like, you know, so, and, you know, and they just love the way he talk, his New York accent, his cocky, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's funny, man, when you talk about New York, and I'm assuming everybody in NO, they thinking like New York City, and he from Yonkers. But it's such a strong accent, they attach it automatically.
Well, but listen, if you from up here to us down south, you're gonna say,
all the same.
it's all the same. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna say Queens, Brooklyn, none of that. We like, he from New York.
From New York.
What's the biggest difference between, I would say, New Orleans, Shreveport, Baton Rouge? Because just how you're saying they from New York,
Yeah.
they say the same thing.
I think it would be like every
All the same
other,
to us.
what is it
I'm
called?
trying to see
Boroughs?
who's
Like, you know
still
what I'm
here
saying?
watching.
Boroughs, yeah.
So it would be like that. It's different cultures. They move different. Baton Rouge is maybe 40 minutes away from New Orleans, but the things that they do and the way they say things is completely different from the way New Orleans do things. So you would know a Baton Rouge dude from a New Orleans dude just by, you know, the way they dress, the way they talk, you know, some of the things they
Can you
do.
give us an example? Like, help us New Yorkers out.
I mean, you take Boosie and Webby, you know what I'm saying? I think Boosie and them got a super southern twang.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of their words is, you just like, what the fuck he said? Like, you know what I'm saying? Opposed to New Orleans dudes, it's a little bit more understanding. But Baton Rouge is a different way of rocking. Like, and I would say like Woody, Round, that's like friends. Baton Rouge don't use those words. Like if we say like, oh, that's my Woody, or we say that's my Round. Downtown dudes would say that's my Shaggy. You know what I'm saying? That's exclusively New Orleans. And it's something that's 15 minutes away from us, and they don't say that.
But it's exclusive to
Yeah.
But that's like with us, man. Like you could tell an uptown cat from a Brooklyn cat. Like back in the day, we used to be known for like blowouts and colorful leathers, and these guys would be known for fatigues and army.
Exactly.
Army suits and boots and all that.
Bronx cats would be like, yo, what's up, Mo?
The thing too is, you
Brooklyn cats don't say Mo.
Baton Rouge dudes, they like old school cars. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans dudes don't really care for old school cars. I do, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't care for, if you go to Baton Rouge somewhere in Lafayette, like you saying Shreveport, them dudes will put, fucking $20,000, $30,000 into some old school shit. And we'd be like, man, get that shit out of here. I'm just gonna buy me a new car. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a different way of moving.
Well, look, I want to say thank you to you. Because you were part of a group that were literally like tour guides for all of us.
For sure.
For 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, going down south was the Carolinas. North Carolina, South Carolina, for a long time. Then I started venturing out, traveling a little bit more.
Yeah.
But can you talk to us a little bit about just like, you guys coming out as Cash Money and then showing the world that microscope got so hot on everything that y'all were doing?
Well, one of the craziest things was, I remember when the video, came out and coming to New York, right? And it was a lot of people was like, well, where did y'all get the props and how did y'all do that? Like, and it was like, nah, that's really our neighborhood. That's the neighborhood. And a lot of people was just like, no fucking way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the way we grew up, and a lot of people in hip hop, when you surrounded with love and and your block hug you, you don't know it's poverty. You don't know that shit because you're paying attention to trying to stay alive every day. And we didn't really know that New Orleans as a whole was below poverty. We just was like, fuck, we just representing our block. And I think a lot of it was shock value to people to be like, holy shit, this shit is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got a dog in here, they feeding bologna in this goddamn and when now that we older and we look at it, we like, goddamn, this shit was strange. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it was a wake-up call for a lot of people. Because when we came along, we didn't know that it was this movement that black people were like, oh, we're doing better. We're doing better. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, holy shit. Like, it brought a lot of people back to, damn, it would be like Harlem being tore up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You knew Harlem was a beautiful place, and then it went through this fucking drug war or whatever, and and then it got back to that. And you have shit in history that remind you of that. And I think what Cash Money did reminded you of the struggle of, like, wait, this is a group of dudes, like, you know what I'm saying, that they don't even know they in the midst of some crazy ass shit. They just striving to do better. And everybody was like, shit, we rooting for y'all.
Yeah. Well, I'll also say for y'all, I don't know how much y'all were responsible for PT Cruiser sales.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Yeah, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all were doing something cars, bringing cars out, and I saw all kinds of people running around trying to get cars because of these videos that you guys were shooting.
But see, like in the beginning, that was the plan. The plan was, it's kind of like this concept of there's more Honda Civics than Bentleys. You catch more people by making it affordable to people. And that was the plan, and it just got bigger and bigger, and it kind of got out of control, but our thing was, I was like, long as we stick to the cars that people can afford, and they'll feel like they're a part of you. They'll feel like, well, shit, I could get one of them. I could do my thing to it. If you remember, for the longest, it was like Chrysler 300s, PT Cruisers, Magnum, that station wagon or whatever. But I was like, dude, it's more people that can afford this and obtain this than going for the Bentley shit and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it just started changing into that. Like, when I tell people the Cash Money story is the gift and the curse, because we didn't set out to make rap turn into like some bling bling shit. That was our thing. And when we started this, it was categories. You had Slick Rick the Storyteller, you know, you had Public Enemy, your Pro Black, you know what I'm saying? You had NWA, who was the gangster rapper, whatever. You know, you had Tribe Called Quest, or whatever they was doing, Big Daddy Kane, the lyricist. So we was like, well, where do we fit in? I'm like, we gonna do this flamboyant thing. So we felt like it was a category. But then rap started changing into everybody wanna be rich. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys take credit for the Baby Bentley term? Now that you bring that, I just remember that. 300.
Yeah. Because we was just like, hey, long as we stay here, you know what I'm saying? But you take, yeah, you know, but shit, everybody saw the birth of Baby. Stunner, Birdman, you know, he went crazy with this shit. He was just like, oh no, I'm about to give y'all Lambos, I'm about to give y'all motherfuckers all the shit I never had.
Is there any truth to where they saying or what they saying? I know Turk was saying that in the beginning there was no Rolexes, it was Geneva watches.
It was, because that's what was popping.
Okay, Geneva watches.
Yeah, there wasn't no Rolexes.
Oh, so that's the truth.
Yeah, it was fucking. Yeah, we even say this shit in the earlier songs. Prime Code phones and like that was a cheap ass phone, but that was what was popping in the hood. If you had one of them, you know you was on. There wasn't no Rolexes, but you know as shit get better, people start going, well fuck that. Let's get to that. Yeah, let's get to that.
Okay.
But everybody in New Orleans wanted a Geneva watch. You know what I'm saying? Because the power of hip hop. You got to think about when two-way pages. Anybody who I don't even know who said the two-way pager was the hot shit. But when rap got to it, everybody had a two-way page.
And it was level story, remember?
Yeah,
the black
hell yes.
The silver one came out.
The silver one came out that you could write the songs on. The little corny ass beats on. Yeah.
You know, sometimes I wonder, because you're living your life in real time.
Yeah.
Was there ever any pressure, or did you foresee any pressure or feel any pressure, I should say, with creating the sound? Because you were really responsible for that Cash Money sound.
No, because I think I loved music so much, I wasn't paying attention to that. You know how some people are like, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make you pay attention to me, and I want to be famous. I just was in love with what I was doing, you know, and I was in love with moving the needle to say like, oh shit, people are paying attention in a good way. They actually see that I actually have a talent, that I can do this, and it makes people respond to it. You know, because before I was making records in the 80s before Cash Money, you know, but it wasn't a platform where I could get them out there. But in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, fucking all the way to Houston, people knew me from DJing, you know. But I was like, well, how do I crack this shit? You know what I'm saying? And then come bounce music, you know. And it was just like, well, it's this shit that Mannie Fresh doing in New Orleans, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's catching on. And my first introduction to Cash Money, you know, I was just like, hey, bro, I got something that I want to do, but because they had a rapper, they had this dude named Kilo G, and I was just like, no disrespect, but I'm like, the production and all that shit is horrible on that. And I'm like, and I got this new shit that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's bounce music. And you know, and they was like, well, why is it bounce music? I'm like, because shit make you fucking bounce. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
What's your name? This is our new friend. We'll talk about it later, okay? This is a cat maid.
Chewy's here. No.
Okay. Hey, wait, come back. Is this new? Ask the Chewy Vet team.
How much is too much catnip?
For everything you need and everything you need to know, find it at Chewy.
Baby, in the mix, from the funk top to the top of the head, baby. How you good at? You know what I'm saying? Right. motherfucking deal.
That's mine, you know. It ain't the best. I ain't never said I had the best. Or none of that. But I do have this motherfucker here, man. I have this one. And it's mine. And I built this one ground up. I ain't bought no another man car. Built this one ground up.
What's up, y'all? This is Lil WB and Slab OG TV back at it again with another interview. Today, I'm up here at BJ's Upholstery, you know what I'm saying? An OG in the game, putting these cars together for himself and, you know what I'm saying, for just the city of Houston, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, introduce for the people that don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying, anything like that.
Yeah, Big Jack, man. Owner of BJ Upholstery, man. I'm from Northwood Mountain. Mohawk and Chief, born and raised, man. And then, about 91, I moved to Antoine, Acre Home. So, homestead, Acre Home, man.
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Now, you said Mohawk and Chief.
Mohawk and Chief.
Isn't that in the slab world, specifically on the north side, when I talk to people like Texas Wild Wheels or Mom Texas Wild Wheels, they always tell me that, I don't know if that was from Mohawk, but there was a lot of dudes back in the day that bought the first sets of Texas Wild Wheels. Was you around there to know about any of that?
When Texas Wild Wheel came, man, I was in Acre Home. So, Bucknam is what I seen with the wheels first.
Yeah.
At that time, I was already in Acre Home for like 15 years.
So you ain't really seen?
No, well, man, I mean, I do. You know, I still got family right there on Harcourt, cheese and shit like that. I see Tim and them, and all them ride.
But when you got Acre Home, that's when you grew into a man, teenage.
Yeah. So I turned into a man in Acre Home. You know what I'm saying? That's when I got in the streets.
Yeah.
Antoine DeSoto, Antoine Holland, you eat square, eyes from Valley. You know, that's